Hello, and happiest of days to each of you folks. I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazingly awesome day today. One of the best you've ever had in your entire life for you folks. And if not, it will be very, very soon for you folks. Today is my 18th Let's Play of Planet Coaster 2. This is the Fantasyland section that I have created in the Sandbox mode with the finances turned on and that sort of a thing. So, Fantasyland was created by myself as a fun little thing to do after Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I finished out all of those various campaigns, although it didn't have a campaign, but you get the idea. And that sort of a thing too, because I loved fantasy when I was a kid too, right? And that sort of a thing too. And then I thought it would be fun for me to knock it out too. And so it's a park which is subdivided into 12 sub theme parks that are heavily themed for you folks all up and down of the block. And every time I finish a park, a Roller Coaster Tycoon or 3 or a Park Attack or Planet Coaster 1 or 2, I have done this. That sort of thing too. But Planet Coaster 2 just released like a month ago a 12-buck DLC called Sorcery pack, and that's the first fantasy themed thing, right? So I thought it would be fun for me to go back to that and start get over again for you folks with all that new emphasis and new stuff out there that was happening too, right? All up and down the block. Now I try to make this as hard as possible, and that sort of thing too. So for example, I started with the minimum amount of money, which was just $10,000, to make things a little difficulter to deal with, right? I also have everything at 100% for all my salaries, and that sort of a thing too. Now here is the real issue though. So over here, as you can see down here, we have this section up here is themed like fairy tales and storybooks, right? So these rides should be all ages, right? And they should be something that also makes sense for the theme too, right? There are some all ages rides that I could add here too, like a drop tower or something like that too, that are out there but I think you would see, all those issues with them, and that sort of a thing too. So the first two things I built, 10K, and then also some of those restaurants and places people just hang out and stuff for this teacups, which I call it Spinderella, which is okay maybe. Then this Chris carousel over here, which because we have decorated it, actually makes real money. Crystal unicorn, this unicorns are all about that ride, and you get that stuff all up and down the block for you folks. That wasn't a whole lot of money even back then because it wasn't decorated, and that sort of a thing either, right? And then I figured we really needed to sort of push my part and start starting to make money. So I borrowed some money, about 8,000, and I picked up this junior roller coaster here too, the Sky Sailor, which is also obviously a kids coaster. It didn't make me that much, and then also this chair swing, which initially made me a little money here and there, but now it makes me tons of money because of how themed it is with those gazebos, right? And that sort of thing too. So I think you'll definitely enjoy that as much too, right? And that sort of thing. Basically, what you'll see here is the opportunity to sort of push that to the next level, right? And get that stuff taken care of for you folks. And then, but the problem is, with that 8,000 that I took out the loan, right? I still about breaking even, right? And that sort of thing too. Then I took out a loan for this fairy theater, which debuted just like this kids coaster in this pack too. And you can see over here, so I took out a loan for that. I wasn't making that much money off of it. And then I took out, I just tried building it up, being nicer. And I then took out a loan for this big wheel. It's a larger Ferris wheel. Also something that would make total sense here too, I'm sure. And then after that, I started to grab this star wheel here, which everybody said might be a little nicer, which I think around the wishing wheel, add some like a wishing tree. And then after that, I grabbed this, and it still wasn't making me that much money either. And so then I started to figure what I should really do is to take out a long farm coaster. And so I grabbed this wooden coaster here that's called Splintering. Initially, I've rethemed it, rechanged it to the Lion's Splinter. And that sort of thing based on Lion's Paw, Aesop's fable. And that sort of thing just would make total sense. But, and it actually did make some money, but it's still because of how much I had to take out for it. Here you can see, just for that. And then after that, I built a couple more of these flat rides. I built these coasters, the bumper boats over here, bumper cars over here. Which makes me some money. I'm themed it around fighting. And then the giant ascent here, over here at the sunfire, which everybody told me was going to be doing something. As you can see there, I saw that's not that bad in the cash side of things either, right? And then I figured I had about 13,000 after another couple of hours of just playing it overnight and that sort of thing. And then after that, well, not a couple hours of game time, but you can yeah, over here I figured it would be time for me to sort of push myself to the next level with this spinning mouse, totally for kids, right? Coaster, and that sort of thing too. It's got great numbers too. And I think they're on the blind mice, mice. Unfortunately, that just didn't make that much money. And that sort of thing too. So I kept about 9,000 left after that for a day, and then I figured we needed to definitely sort of push myself to the next level. And so I grabbed 3 flat rides I thought would sort of do that. This tilt-a-whirl here, which I grabbed 3 spinners, by the way, is also a short story title too. This twister here, which we named Fairy Ring Point, also some good money. Also great money here from this tiny owl, which I named Pixie's Beak. Because pixies are tiny and that makes a lot of money too. Then the next day I had about $19,000 from all that extra cash. I used that to really push this place into the max, as well as this slide over there too, for kids too. That includes the rainbow slipper slide. It actually makes me some good money too, surprising. And that sort of thing too. So I think you'll definitely thought that was good. And I added all that decorations over here too. Those great things that you're seeing over there too. All those shops. I added over here this restaurant. That had a fairy theme for it too, right? All blocks. Now that I'm starting to get the money from all those extra things, I was starting because I had actually invested some money into my all that stuff for this, how good my park looked, and that sort of a thing too. It really pushed my park rating up. I started bringing tons of people. And then sort of thing too. I thought it would be time for me to open up the Atlantis section of my park. Also over here would be Gothic Horror. Over here would be, I think that might be the parts. Over here would be traditional heroic fantasy. And over here would be myth and legend. So the Atlantis. One of the things that he added in Planet Coaster 2 were a bunch of pools, water, slides, and that sort of thing too. So you can go. So I thought it would be time for me to open up this section of the Atlantis themed section, right? And that sort of a thing. So I added first this level after opening up this section, and you can see actually I make some good money, despite the fact that the numbers here really aren't that great. Then nextly I just built this pool and expanded the 40 folks. And then I also started to build some of these themes, bathrooms and shops, and that sort of stuff too. Then I built this Krakens. The next day I built 3 water slides, which are this one, Kraken's milk, which I think was some Kraken pieces. I also gave myself this theme, just like the pink and the blues there are definitely kids and girls. So I thought it would be fun for me to also do this too. Kraken's Mall, it's more of a bright teal color for that sort of thing too. Alicia Atlantis with a dark teal on these things, and then that's a copper as my thing too. And then over here I also built on that first day too, these 2 racing water slides that you're seeing there too. The next day I built this Triton strap that I themed for you folks, as well as these 2 smaller things for you folks, which I built previously. Typically I don't build rods. Myself, if you have to literally just take what comes with the game for you folks, and that's sort of the other thing too. But but one of the key things of that is, or something, I just ride particularly now with my Huntington's disease, and that sort of thing too. And that's even true these days for this stuff too. I downloaded them all. That's Tots' AD4 if you're interested. And check them out. And that sort of thing. Or her. I don't know. Or them. No judgments. Alright, so Poseidon's Plunge, and then this other one too that I built previously in the career. So I built those myself. And then on the last day, I built a couple days ago. I built these slides, finished that out, and then I thought it would be time for me to start to move all their stuff. And then I built this flat ride over here. That's here in the Atlantis section of Livingston. So that flat ride over here is, the Oracle's Flood, which is how the Oracle sort of predicted that this flood is about that. Good for you folks. It was very themed when I got it. Here, I'll show you really fast. And that sort of thing too, and so it's making me tons of money for those reasons too. And then up and down the bottom. And you can see there too, it's about $30 per ride. Nice. And yesterday, I just built up this. I want to build a coaster. So I built an aqua coaster. This is the most expensive of the water coasters here. There's a handful. You can see it here. Has great stuff. Sorry. Brief break. For it, folks, you can see it's got some. The numbers here are okay. Not the best in the world, but it gets tons of that cash too. I also built a ride photos for here too, which you can see down here. And then also I built this flat ride right here between this and the wall yesterday, which is all about Atlantean diving, and that sort of a thing too. It was initially themed, I just needed Atlantis dive, but then I felt it might be a nice idea for me to look at just having this right here be sort of the themes of the deaths of Atlantis and that sort of a thing too. I don't know who's going to name it last night. Golden City Fall. After I built that, and that sort of a thing too. I was building up my money, but then I thought that maybe having it actually explore the room would be the better not. And so I've actually swapped over to Atlantean's Explore, which is the most that I can get into that smaller space. You can't have too much more. And that's actually making me some good money too, even though it's not the most exciting ride. Right? Good money. $44. Almost 45. It's great money there, too. All up and down. Below 40, folks. So a couple of things I did last night. I was playing this. So yesterday I finished all of the techs while I was playing too. So I shut down all of the tech things here too. I also changed over some of my mechanics in workshops. Swapped over all mechanics that just work on rides, do not safari one. So it was way too many, and that sort of a thing too. And then I started to build out that money too. And then so I had to build. If you recall, one of the things I had to do yesterday too, in order to move, in order to build here, where this is, I had to move over a water filter that I placed over here for that to keep it nice and clean. But then it started, but because I had to move it out of the way, and I said when I was doing it, I need to make sure, remind me or myself to get that taken care of later, to get it back moved, and that sort of a thing too. It's a list of everything. And so one of the things I just went so I realized as I was playing and building back up that cache, that I needed to build another water filter, and that water and get all these because it was running out of water there here at the top. Then that extra water filter needed more water, and that sort of thing too. So I built another underground wall here, right? And it's sort of thing too. You can check. But underground walls, as you can see, do take a lot of that power too. 120 is a lot of power, and that sort of a thing thing too, so I had to build another power thing too. And since I unlocked it yesterday, is my last thing, that was a large solar power station. I thought that'd be nice because it's cleaner power. That makes tons too. Right, yeah, sure. So I built that too, right down here. You can see it here, power generator too. You can see it's making like 300 power. It's making tons of power, all of the power. But the problem is that is 40,000 for that. It was the price, solar power and investment. And then at first went like for it. Okay, I thought I probably wouldn't need to keep some of that cash for it today, so I didn't bring it for a little longer last night too. Just as a heads up. But now we're good to go. Now we'll check out that stuff before it comes. On that nail, I'm gonna grab just so you know, I'm gonna grab a sip. Well, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. So I could build another roller coaster. That'd be fun. Or I could also build a super. Oh, and another thing I built last night too. Just as a heads up, are some benches and some bands and that sort of thing too. I did think about having some more drinks over here because a couple days ago I actually put the maximum energy or another bathroom right here. But near all these things, the roller coasters and that flat rides and such too. But the next one was just right here. And it didn't seem like a need to. So I was thinking, also look, maybe I should just take a look and see what my people want. That might dictate where I want to do. So here we go. You can see, they still want some more thirst and some more hunger, some more toilets, and tons of more trouble. Right? And that sort of a thing too. So one of the things I might want to do, actually, is just to put this over here and start to add some more of those spaces over here. That might be the worst idea for you folks. But let's go ahead and just look at the routes that I might want to build. So one of the things I was talking about yesterday as we sort of exited was what I could be building here. Typically, I just want the endless rides to be all about things that make sense for it, just to be themed to it. So while we did have a flat ride out there too, that's called the Forge. And here I'll show you two real fast. And the Forge was one that does have an aquatic theme around it too. I developed super fast and I got all the money too. Resort Forge, aquatic. And I could theme that. I have already come with a name for it too. Orange, that's the gold, that reddish gold material that was considered super valuable and all over Atlantis too, and octopus. I think that'd be fun. Could do that. I'll up and down. Another option would be to build we were talking about this yesterday, and that I was leaving is here on the track ride section. Right, so here you can go like here. So create custom. We have 3 track rides here. So, and this one, if I recall correctly, is a wild one, and so we want not have the same type of ride over and over and over. Right? Increase my ratings. All the ratings are already maxed at 5.0. But basically, that's it. It is a wide log from. So I could build. Sorry, that's in the films. I could build a road around it, or just a narrow road. So let me see if I've got any blueprints. There that actually would make sense for it. Again, too, right? For you folks. We got Wave Force. It's on 10K. It would be most exciting log flume in the world. And just as a reminder, if it's got a zeros under it, it's from something else, right? And I've got to grab the online. It's going to check mark on it, I believe. Right? And that was River Track. It's the wide log flume, River Rapids, and Wind Forest. So I can do all of them. So the River Rapids, it's called River Rider for radio folks. Not a bad name. It's pretty generic too for lots of that sort of stuff if I wanted to. It's a name I could probably add very quickly for you folks. And then I also built one here too, which is a cable car from Cobra Island. Oh, because it's a truck car. I set up here. Oh, because I'm just looking out for a generic truck car, not water truck car. So that's why I said, oh yeah. Well, I thought it was only showing me water ones, but it might be. Anyway, let's get that map. I got the river track, the river rider, and the river force. So let's maybe build one of those. How much is the river force? Oh yeah, one thing I did talk about earlier, I didn't talk about this before. So this section over here is trying to be kept for transport. I'm going to put some of those troops for it. I was right here between sections, or over here. So. Right. So by here would be right by the river pool. Oh, maybe I could polish it if I were going to play here. Maybe that would be a better place for the river right up. Wouldn't be the bad place for it. Push back a little bit. That would be nice. Right. Probably come back a little more. How's that? Yeah, let's do it. Maybe a little more back. Maybe a little more. That's probably it. Now we're going to test this river rapid run for you folks and see what I can get out of this thing too for you folks. Also at a power facility too, I'm thinking about it so I don't forget that later on for you folks. So that's a power facility. So you can see there, what's showing up there is because I hit the things. These are just the generics. So I want to see the blueprints, which will give you some details in the prettiness attached to them, right, and that sort of thing too. So what we're looking for now is a power distributor. Yep. I'll just put it right here. Do it closer. That's good. You connect it right like that. Alright, that's good. That's good to go. And then also check again with you folks and see what we're looking at over here. So the first thing I'm going to want to do over here, while it's in the queue, I'm going to go ahead and connect these paths. So the first thing I'm going to do is expand this path over here, folks. Here I'm going to click here first, and then customize. And copy existing texture. Now we're going to zoom down a little bit closer so I can see what's happening. And then we're just going to make it work. Make the magic happen. Four. That should be 12, right? Good to go. Just do another one. Yeah, that's good. we'll just go ahead and quickly cube and path that out. And then I will get those connected. And then when that happens, that is a path. Isn't that my path over here? Nope, that's the fairy tale bar. That's the default path. And that's what we're going to do. But while I'm here, right, I'm gonna swap over here for now. While you're thinking about it, that's going to be crowded and then type over here. So you just let forward to the floor. Should be good to go. What's happening? Eventually. Over here will be the Q side of things, so we'll just double click on that too. I don't think that's the right color. Let me just double check. That's not the black. The black, whatever it is. Yep. I'll try it real fast. That's good to go. The next thing we'll do is start to test this room, and we'll ride it to what happens. Camera on, and now let's ride it. Watch the camera. This might be a little focused to work for. But it's just a heads up. Sorry if I am. I'm going to grab another sip of pop lots. Fun stuff to happen. Give my speakers up a little bit. Right there. Right. More stuff is happening. Good stuff for the wind tech. Oh, it's kind of fun. A little relaxing too, I'm sure. Super close. There we go. Let's pause it. Now let's keep this for you folks. Open it. I don't think I cannot add camera here, just as a heads up. Finances. We are making see how much it is with the barter. Probably not as much as I was hoping. Yeah, $9. Not a lot I was hoping. It's okay, there's a lot of opportunity for money and growth there. Okay, and that's sort of a thing too. Alright, now let me save that for you folks. I see we got about a half hour left, so that's good stuff. After saving this. I'll just swap that. I'm going to delete that. That works. I'll resume to all up and down the block for you folks. So a couple things I could do. First, that teaming, other than that random spawn, there isn't exactly the most place. Beautiful. That's not the word. Isn't the most differentiating. So I could theme that, right? That's sort of a thing too, with more of a landing themes and that sort of a thing. I could also just build some restaurants over here. That sort of thing to just build that parks needs that they're looking for, shopping places, and drinks, and that sort of thing too. That also would be totally possible too. Or just build benches. We're gonna do lots of wearing bins, and lamps and that sort of thing too. So just expand that part. It's also possible too, right? Lots of great steps there down there too, right? All up and down the block floor, folks. But let me just real quickly, while I still have some of your time here, let me see what I got with the other things and that sort of thing too that I might have. For example, that forge definitely isn't the original. And that's going to bring in tons of money too. But it's pretty big. So let me see what I can probably, because here it starts like very, very high. Like 5.6. Oh my, that is so strong stuff. Right? But it did take up some space, right? So let me see if I can actually, find a place for it. That would make sense. One place actually might be here. Let me see. Zoom in on that. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. That looks right there. I'll make this a little closer to the road, and that sort of thing too. So it'll be more right there, and that sort of thing too. Although if I did do that too much, I couldn't put stores there. But let's go ahead and just do that. I think that would be more exciting. Seeing go right past that, and then sort of the thing too. So maybe make it a little shorter. Two. There we go. Just a little more on. That's good. Also here, I forget, I don't remember how to spell or ring. I'll just look it up real quick. Yeah, but we'll change this name to it on here. You're gonna hear me speaking about it. What is the goldish reddish metal that's used in the lens? Got it. It's O-R-I. HAO. Conceal. That's it. Let me just make sure I type it in right. Yes. Octopus. Wrong. Wrong way to spell. I did in the first one right, not the second one. Was a comment. Come on. That's a good thing I do. Alright. For if folks good. Now let's go ahead and start that testing. For if folks, you can see that started out so much great stuff. And again, we're going to expand this path dangerously. For if folks want to think about it. Remember, I probably don't want to have too much of that path here on of that cube path, and that's sort of a thing too. You typically want your people to be riding rides, not waiting in line for rides. Right? Here, we're going to be going over here, and this is going to be the I'm going to be running off the cube path here. So here, we're just going to come over here, grab some of this instead. Copy existing texture. I'll just put some more of that back. Although we're probably getting close. Yeah, probably close to the end of that. But just a little section over here. Just sort of a thing too. And because here is the end of the part. Right, and if I hold it, so we should be about halfway deep into that part. Just that. Well, let's go ahead and knock it out for you folks with that pop path. Here, once that's copied, and that should be 12. Double. Well, not going to the place I was expecting. Okay, try it again. Sorry about that. Again. That's definitely some honey. That's probably good. Good to go. Now over here, we're going to go ahead and knock out some of this thing too. Paths and paths. On both sides for the happiness and joy. Paths and paths. We're getting first time. Now, we're going to go over here for the exit path. I'm thinking about it and still have this non-Q section. Again. That's probably good. Zoom in a little bit. Is that connected? Let's just check it. Make sure real fast. Oh, it's a little. Oh, I can see it now. Yeah, it's actually up in the air. That's a little weird. Actually, is it? I don't think so. I'm try deleting that. I don't know if that's not a good place. It's not. It's a weird thing. It's probably just on that jelly fish. Okay, this side. So we're going. Much better. Good to go. I know. Now we're going to flip over to here and do it over here on this side with the cube too. Now again, I know this will be a popular ride, but I don't really feel like I need to have my cube be that big like it would have been previously. Okay. So cube there is going to be this cube over here. It's an arrow cube, so I need to copy that first and get those colors by default. Right here should be. That's pretty good. Actually, no, it didn't give me the person. It gave me the. I'm sorry, give me the person in the path. So we just need to default. And so I think my grabbing. Here we go. It's probably a good place. I think tools, yes. Copy the existing texture, and now we should be in a good place to place it over here on this side of the flat right. This one I'm actually, because it's like a goldish metal red metal, And that's another thing too. I'm actually going to leave the default colors here on the aquatic side of things rather than changing them up just as a heads up. Q is good on the right color. Let me just take it over here. Make sure again we're on the ground side of things. Yep. Don't want to be building up too high. I'm still not having into a section here. Yeah, right here. Q. Yep. Alright. Looks good. Tree is possible. Is that too tree? Yeah. Walk that way. Does that work? That works. Alright. Now that that's built, you can see it built. Park real fast. I'm sure you guys will be annoyed by that. Sorry. It's gotta happen. Cancel. Okay. Now, I also gotta build another. As you notice, I still have power here. I gotta add. So we'll do that now. For you folks, and that is, again, we're going to do a reference section there to all the cache. And that's right. Yeah, probably here's probably good. I don't want to be too close to that line. Would that work? Yeah, that's good. It's a little bit on the line. Could I move it a little bit? Yeah, the problem is, I don't think it's an issue here, right next to the run. It might be an issue for things like decorations or, well, not decorations, it's already decorated, but things like shops or something like that. So let's push it over. Or even another flat. Let's just push it back a little bit, see how that works. Move it back to here. That's good, that's one. That works, I'm sure. Now that that's done, we're going to play test this too, real fast for you folks. This will be probably not who knows. But we'll start it out with like this, so you can see it too. We don't typically need to flight test or flight rise, but we're just doing it for fun. See what it looks like. Sorry, a lot of times. Again, I'll play testing this, and also with Coda. Soda, it's actually not going to escape all this up too. Top it up too. So how much money you're getting? You see how much you see what that numbers are? That's before all that decoration. So this would be a good money. Yeah. $15, almost $15 a ride. That's not bad at all, right? I think that's probably going to get you into a good place for you folks. Now, do I have another time here? I got about 15 minutes for another ride to build, or should I just build some stuff like that, or and stuff also there too, like roads, like sorry, bad. Benches, bins, and that sort of, lights, and that sort of thing too, right? Or just more of those places for people to show up over here. I do all that stuff for other folks. But I with about 15 minutes left. But let me take a quick look to see if I could do it on. Get a place. Yes, I have that issue happening. I'm sure you guests. What's over here? That's all the stuff we already know about. Alright, folks, good stuff. Alright, so here, let me take just a quick look here to see what I could do. That's for you, folks. Again, this bonus section over here could, like I just mentioned, be a good place for water coasters, water slides, and that sort of thing too. Although some of them might be in other places too. Here, let me show you a coaster up that right. There's one of these coasters is called Artemis, which I could, even though it's a water coaster, I could just put it here in that method. Side of things too. There's also one called Rodeo too, which would probably be a good one too. Drive place. Or even the Egypt place, that would be next over here. That came with the game too, right? I could definitely do that too. I'll put it down the blocks for you folks. But yeah, so but yeah. Turn 41,000. It's good money. Right? Water coasters are here. Yeah, good stuff, right? You can definitely have that, all that fun stuff for you folks. But let's definitely sort of keep this section over here again open for transports, which one that I want to have, as well as here and then to at the front. But I could put something right here. Let me see if I can do another coaster for you real fast. See what that looks like for you folks. See if I could put one right here. So we can get everybody around. And that sort of a thing too here. Or not, even though they're flat, which makes sense. That can feed better. Potato board. Artemis. Nerodia is the biggest one that I haven't already built, which is, he's great. Coaster and a lava flow. That sounds like fun. Right, let me just take a look and see what I can do. Could I just toss it here, right? And that's another thing too, right? It's touch possible. If I could fit it here, then I would think it's just there already a sense of a good name too. Right? Let's look at it and see. Sorry, it's here. It's not that big too, which is good. Here. Actually, right there would be a good place, for all of that. Because it aligns. So I pull out maybe a little bit more and see what that looks like too. Looking on the ground and stuff too. That's very exciting too. We could definitely probably do that there too. Over here too. Yeah. I'm trying to find a place where it doesn't see, like it's gonna get sliding right on into that next authority. let's try it there. Too steep. Not there either. That works. Connecting that one. So first thing I'm going to do is test this. Connect this. Right. There. Two. I think that'll be close enough. We'll see. We might have that running. We might have a running in too, just in case. With half. Like leave half or two. While that is happening, copy existing texture, path back over to here, move this one over here back over to a 4. Well, you get 12 from 4 to 12. That's 10. 12. That's good. So let's stop right here. About where I stopped with the other one. Two. A little more. Delete that. Okay. Oops, and so with the mouse and such. But yeah, you can probably do that. Get that connected to the pads and such. Delete that. So. I think that's going under that now, so we can choose that one. We'll double check. I don't have any massive issues. Sorry, that should have been this. Whoa, not wrong place. That's what I want. Double click. Not sure. Customize. Copy existing texture. Actually, we'll do that. I might want to delete that, see how that gets in. Check it just to make sure. Just how close it is. Yeah, I'll do it. That's all. Good. Also do the other one on the other side too, I'm thinking about. Just that one too? Yeah. And then head back over to the path. 4 of that. 2. That worked. And now the cube. This one. That's not over here. Oops. Right here. The other rolls are right now. Sit back. Should be good to go. We'll double check. And that does work. Well, great. Alright, now let's do a quick test looking at our USB coaster. I think it'll be good. It looks like it's going around and stuff. Double check. Got about another 6 minutes. So that'll be enough to do that testing, and then I'll close it. Open it up and get you guys done. We're going to test it and then unpause it. Let's test the reference and see what that looks like. That'll be fun. We'll double check. It's a little close. Another soda pop ball on talking to you. speed that up to while we're just sort of waiting for this boring part of the water coaster. Just a little longer, we should be in a good place of this coaster. It was going through New York. I don't think that was going through the top one. Yep. Well done. So that looks like on the water side and stuff. Open it up. All that stuff do for you folks. Check it out, dude. See what that looks like. It's worth opening up cash per run. Custom. 71 bucks. That's a lot of cash. That's gonna bring tons of cash. That's good. Alright, so tonight, tomorrow when I play with this, that's sort of the thing too. I will be tossing down some benches here, bins there, and that sort of thing too, as well as some over here, some drinks, and that sort of thing too. So we'll be doing that for you folks all up in them box. I think that'll be fun stuff and you'll enjoy it much. There you go. I hope you enjoyed all this stuff all up and down the box. But let me know what your thoughts are too, right? And that sort of a thing too. Because, right, and that sort of thing too. Well, that's coming next. And that sort of thing too. And then some other thoughts. And then after that, so we'll be doing all that stuff for you. I want to thank you so very, very much for just taking some time out of your day, right? And even investing and watching my videos too, right? Because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives all up and down the block, right? And there's so many things that are happening in our lives too. So like you spent this time with me, that's just incredibly humbling. I really do appreciate that all up and down the block. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.